What is happening, people? And judging by the title, I'm pretty sure most of you guys get the gist of the video. So, Resident Evil 7 is not Resident Evil. And what I mean by this is that Resident Evil 7 doesn't look, play, or have anything to do with the previous games in the series. Now, I don't want to go too much into the changes, but I will touch on them a little bit anyway. The most noticeable change, of course, is that it's first person, which is a big mistake because I do know some people that love the Resident Evil series, but they get sick when they play first person games. One of the other things you realize is that it doesn't have the action that the previous Resident Evil games had. And it seems like you spend more time scavenging for things. Of course, it's because it's a survival horror and no longer an action horror. I didn't play the full game, but from what I played of the demo and what I've watched others play, the game plays a lot like Outlast with some elements of action, just to give you an idea. And remember, this game is not a reboot to the Resident Evil series, it's a sequel. And when you look at it, it doesn't look like a sequel to Resident Evil 6 or any of the Resident Evil games in the series for that matter. It's more like a sequel to Outlast more than it does Resident Evil. And the reason why I'm a little disappointed is because the story of Resident Evil seemed like it was going somewhere, even though Resident Evil doesn't follow one protagonist and the story doesn't progress the way it probably should. But spoilers alert, if you haven't played Resident Evil 6, they brought all the characters together, except for Jill and Claire, because I know people are going to probably say that. But going back to my point, they brought all the characters together and they have found the cure. It was in Jake's blood. So I thought that they were going to have like two more, or at least one more Resident Evil game showing them cure the virus and finding out who Umbrella was and taking them down once and for all. But now it just seems like a random game. Now, am I mad that this is a Resident Evil game? The answer to that is no. My argument isn't that it's a Resident Evil game. My argument is that it shouldn't be a direct sequel to the main Resident Evil games. Let's just say, if this was called Resident Evil Zero Hope, I wouldn't have any problem with that because we all already know that Capcom has made other Resident Evil games that change the gameplay drastically, like Resident Evil Chronicles, Resident Evil Outbreak, and Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. Even though Operation Raccoon City isn't that different, but you get my point. And then putting Resident Evil 7 as the title, it just seems like they just slapped the Resident Evil name on there just to get sales. And to me, it doesn't look good because it seems like they lack faith in making a good game without having to put the title of a well-established franchise on it. And I'm not saying that's why they did it, but that's just how it looks. Because it could be because they don't really know what to do with the Resident Evil series. Because 4 was going through the same changes because they didn't really know what to do with Resident Evil. Leon was seeing ghosts, weird spirits, and running away from things that weren't really there, fighting baby dolls. But Shinji Mikami came, he changed all of that. And to tell you the truth, that Resident Evil looks better than Resident Evil 7 in my opinion. I'll put a link to the video in the description so you guys can check it out. Okay, now, the question many people are probably going to ask, do I think the game is bad? No. The game isn't bad, and I'm pretty sure it will do better in reviews than Resident Evil 6 did. And I haven't seen the review, that's why I'm saying I think it will. Because we all know that Resident Evil 6 had lots of flaws. But this game just doesn't represent Resident Evil the way it should. And like I said, the main series in Resident Evil. So yeah, it isn't a bad game. I actually might get it. Also, the game doesn't deserve any hate, so I'm not saying hate the game. And if you like the game, get it. Don't let other people tell you what to get or what not to get. So that concludes my video. Comment down below and let me know, what do you guys think about Resident Evil 7? Do you agree with me or do you disagree completely and you think that's what Resident Evil needs? With that being said, don't forget to power up by hitting that like button, subscribe to join the guild. As always, have a good one and game over.